Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates of the College of Business and the College of Health Professions. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates of the College of Health Professions. The faculty representatives of Ferris State University. The President and stage dignitaries. please stand for the singing of our national anthem? Please feel free to join soloist Rachel Schumann. Gentlemen, please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Good morning. Welcome to the commencement exercises of Ferris State University. We are delighted that you, the friends and families of our graduates, have come to witness this occasion which celebrates their accomplishments. My name is Sheila McEachran, and I'm a faculty member in the College of Health Professions. Carrying the symbolic mace and representing the Academic Senate is Anita Fagerman. Marshals representing the faculty members are Jean Inabanet and Cora Millard. Today's music is performed by the Brass Quintet from Mount Pleasant. The interpreter is Emily Baxter, and the ushers are members of the Ferris State University Student Alumni Gold Club. Please join me in thanking them for their assistance. Now allow me to present the stage dignitaries who will rise as they are introduced. Audience, please hold your applause until all have been recognized. Board of Trustees Vice Chair Suzanne L. Waltz from Big Rapids. President David L. Eisler. 2014 Distinguished Teachers Jennifer Johnson and Gary Huey. Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs Paul Blake. Academic Senate President Kahendra Thapa. Director of Alumni Relations Jeremy J. Mishler. Vice President for Student Affairs Janine Ward-Roof. Trustee Aaron R. Brown from East Lansing. Vice President for University Advancement and Marketing Shelley L. Armstrong. Vice President for Diversity and Inclusion David Pilgrim. Vice President and General Counsel Miles J. Postema. Vice President for Administration and Finance Jerry L. Scobie. Extended International Operations Dean Cheryl K. Clucci. Michigan College of Optometry Dean David A. Damari. College of Pharmacy Dean Stephen W. Durst. Library Dean Scott Garrison. College of Arts and Sciences Dean Rick S. Kurtz. College of Health Professions Dean Matthew O. Adianju. And College of Business Dean David M. Nickel. Would you please join me in acknowledging them? Officially presiding over this commencement ceremony are members of the Board of Trustees of Ferris State University. Board Vice Chair Waltz now brings you the board's greetings.
Good morning and welcome to our December commencement ceremony. Ferris State University is one of Michigan's great public institutions of higher education. The Board of Trustees is comprised of citizens appointed by the governor with the advice and consent of the Senate of the Michigan Legislature. As mandated by the state of Michigan's Constitution, The board is charged with the responsibility of governing the university by setting policies that enhance not only the quality of education, but also the quality of life. Graduation epitomizes both. On behalf of the entire Board of Trustees, I extend best wishes to all of you being honored today, and a special congratulations to the December class of 2014. Go Bulldogs!
Provost Paul Blake will introduce our commencement speakers.
I am absolutely delighted to introduce Ferris State University's 2014 Distinguished Teacher Award recipients, Professors Jennifer Johnson and Gary Huey. This award is in recognition of their teaching excellence, their participation in professional development activities, interest in students outside the classroom, and dedication to the university community. Dr. Johnson earned her Bachelor of Arts from Carthage College, Master of Arts and Doctor of Philosophy from Arizona State University, and was awarded an Exceptional Merit Grant from the Ferris Foundation for the 2014-15 academic year. Dr. Huey earned his Bachelor of Science and Master of Arts from Bradley University, a second master's degree from Illinois State University, and a PhD from Washington State University. Welcome, Drs. Johnson and Huey.
Well, good morning, and we want to thank our colleagues and our students for giving us this honor of being named Distinguished Teachers. It's because of this honor that we get to speak to you folks today. Now, we're doing it a little bit differently this year as we're doing it together. The reason for that is Jennifer and I, our offices are just a couple of doors down from each other, and when we found out we were both nominated, we began to be very good supporters of one another. So we went through this process together, and we figured we might as well share the speech together as well. Now, all this collegiality, it actually didn't start out that way. My competitive nature got the better of me, and I began to spread a rumor that the only reason Jennifer was on the list was that she was taking teaching-enhancing drugs. And I demanded a drug test, but the committee saw through that and they said no. But then another rumor started, and that rumor was as to why I became a finalist. And the reason for that was given, my rugged handsomeness and my animal magnetism. That's not funny. That's not funny. Well, anyway, I spread that rumor myself. And that rumor was actually true. So anyway, let's start off, and I have a drug-free Jennifer.
Hope so. It seems that we spend a lot of our childhood talking about what we hope to become someday. We want to be firemen, superheroes, teachers, ninjas. We want to be old enough to drive, old enough to vote, old enough to drink. It seems that a lot of our lives is really all about the process of becoming. And so as Gary and I prepared for today, we really reflected on that and decided to share a bit of our own journey of becoming and that of some other people we've had the joy of watching along the way as well. The number of things that I've become in my life so far really boggles my mind. I became a drum major that led a marching band through the Kentucky Derby Parade. I became a college student of geography and mathematics, surprisingly enough, without any real idea of what I was going to be when I finished. Sure enough, I became old enough to drink. That was entertaining. Until I became sick all over my roommate's dresser trying to get home from the bunk bed. I became a student ambassador and a campus tour guide at Carthage College, and I also became an unofficial cheerleader for the swim team. There's a cute boy named John on the team. I also became a student of a man named Bill Miller. Bill was a geography professor and my mentor, and he watched me present in a class one day and pulled me into his office soon after, and he said, "Jennifer, you are meant to teach." By this point, I'd already decided to go to graduate school, But I knew the one thing that I didn't plan to become was a teacher. The truth was that those men and women who had led me down the path to higher education were just so high in my esteem that I didn't think there was any way I could ever do it. I'd never know enough. And then I accepted an offer at Arizona State University that would pay for my master's degree, but I had to be a teaching assistant. And so I became a teacher. Or really, I discovered what I'd been in the process of becoming all along. Along the way, I became other things as well. I became John's wife. All those swim meets paid off. I became a mother to Melanie and Hope, and in the process, learned that I could love more fiercely than I ever imagined possible. I became a Girl Scout leader, a cake decorator, someone who could sense a fever with a kiss. Sometimes in life, though, we become things that we don't intend, and that we'd never be if we'd been given a choice.
Jennifer's very correct in that. I think my family and I are good examples of how sometimes we don't exactly have a straight path to where we are going. I always wanted to be a K-12 teacher. I wanted to be like my dad, teacher and a coach. And I thought I was going to live out that dream when I got a job teaching at my old high school. But I had to ultimately turn that job down because of health problems. And needless to say, I was pretty upset about that. But I decided what I'd do is I'd take a few classes in grad school and maybe help me get a job. Well, while there at the university, I met a professor, Leroy Ashby, who inspired me to get my PhD and become a university professor. And I met a wonderful woman who became my wife, and I became a father of 5 kids, 5 amazing children. Now, my kids, they've not had exactly a straight path either. My oldest son always loved writing, so he decided to move to Los Angeles and become a screenwriter. Well, he's become just about everything but a screenwriter. He got into acting. He is an on-screen movie critic for VH1. He has appeared as the host of a comedy web series called Yacht Rock, which was voted one of the 10 most funny web series of all time. And now he's working as a film editor in television. He's still writing, and he's still hoping to become that screenwriter someday. Now, my oldest daughter, she has a less than straight path as well. She got her master's degree in forensic psychology, moved to Hollywood, and she became a professional individual who was kind of like a profiler. And she thought that was going to be her lifetime job, her dream job. But after 7 years, she decided it was not her dream job. And so she came back to Ferris. She took some classes, and now she works for a sales and marketing company. And I think what it shows is sometimes we get exactly what we set out to get, and then we find out we really need something else. My youngest daughter was a creative writing major, and she wanted to write children's books. She knew nothing at all about computers, but when she hit the job market, she discovered she had to be somebody who knew computers, and so she had to learn fast. And today, she works for an international furniture manufacturing company, and she sits in front of a computer screen all day long as a web marketer. Sometimes what happens with someone like her is what we're hoping for, we don't get. But we kind of find out we could make something out of opportunities that present themselves. And she did just that. Now, my middle son, growing up, was the quietest of a small group of very quiet children. And in fact, his senior year in high school, he was voted the shyest person in his class. Today, he works for a food marketing company, and as part of his duties, he has to make presentations to large groups. He's not that shy young man anymore. And then finally, my last son, he has gone in an unexpected direction. He graduated in the top 15 of his high school class, but admitted he absolutely hated reading and writing. He went to grad school, though, and he said when he got into college, the one thing he discovered you actually have to read the material if you want to get a good grade. A professor's son, you would think he would know that already. Well, today he has his master's degree in history and he's working on his PhD at Michigan State University. So what happens, you never know where life is going to take you. My children are no different than those of you graduating today. Like my children, you've made plans, and like my kids, you will face challenges and you will find opportunities as well. And like them, you will adapt and you will become something very amazing.
Perhaps the most wonderful part of life is that we're never done becoming. No matter how many mistakes we make or how many twists there are in the road, we're never done. On the day I came to Ferris, I became a professor, much like many of you are becoming teachers and mechanics and engineers today. But I also figured out that I was other things as well. I became the future member of a dozen committees, probably more. I became an advisor to pre-pharmacy students. I became Gary's colleague. And then I realized I wasn't done. I couldn't just become a professor, and that was it. In any given day, I would have different students, and I'd need different skills to meet their needs. I became, this one gets me, I became a devoted advisor to a fraternity. Gary and I also had the pleasure, probably most of all, of becoming mentors to students. And because we teach geography and history, we have a lot of education students that major in one and minor in the other. So we have had the delight of sharing a few of those journeys with them as well. Getting to watch you become and support you as you become new things is one of the best parts of our job. Our mutual student, Christy, we got to watch her realize her passion for history, with a little geography thrown in. And now we're watching her become a teacher as she finishes her student teaching. We did the same for our mutual student, Stephen. I mentored him through a master's degree in education, and I screamed my head off when he became a national park ranger. I think that trumps history. Yeah, I'm just kidding. And now I listen to my own student research, Cameron, tell me that he's going to graduate school in geography, but he's only going to research. And I think, but Cameron, what if you're meant to teach?
Well, Jennifer and I would like to leave you with a challenge, and it comes from a YouTube video that one of my colleagues, Barry Mailer, showed to me. It shows a young teacher, a guy by the name of Taylor Malley, and he talks about being a guest at a party. And he said at this party, another guest began to make fun of teachers, saying the only reason they were teachers is they simply couldn't do anything else. And by implication, they were paid accordingly. And then he knew Taylor was a teacher, so he asked him, he said, Taylor, he said, what do you make? Taylor's response was, he said, I make a difference. I make children work harder than they ever thought they could. I make children write, read, question, criticize, and wonder. I make parents love their children for who they are and what they can be. I make a difference. How about you? And that's the question and challenge we give to you folks today who are graduating. How about you? On your journey to becoming, whatever it may be, become a difference maker.
Today you become a graduate of Ferris State University. We and your other faculty have been so incredibly honored to be a part of your journey to today. You've helped us to become better teachers, better mentors, and better people. If you haven't realized it yet, what we've really become are your biggest fans. We wish you joy in your journey. We wish you strength and grace when joy is absent. And most of all, we wish that you will never be done becoming. Thank you.
Ferris State University President David L. Eisler.
Thank you, Gary and Jennifer. How fortunate our students are to be able to study with you and you truly do make a difference. Let's say thank you. It is a true honor to stand before you, the class of 2014. Today is a wonderful opportunity for you to reflect on your accomplishments here at Ferris State University. At such a time, you need to know that your success is built upon the collective efforts of so many people who care about you and who take great pride in your growth and development. I want to pause for a moment so we express our thanks to them. I begin with our faculty who have served as your teachers, advisors, guides, and mentors. We are truly fortunate to have a faculty who are dedicated to teaching and who care deeply about students. I would ask that our faculty rise so we can express our thanks to them. Faculty? I also want to thank our staff who each contribute in their way for you, our students. In doing so, I would note their many contributions to our ceremony, the beautiful decorations here today, and the commencement program, which provides information on our university, its programs, and today's ceremony. Now to the special guests with us today. First, I want to recognize your parents. They have planned and sacrificed to help you reach this pinnacle of achievement. Parents, please stand. I'd be willing to guess that there are some proud grandparents here also. Grandparents, would you stand? For some graduates, there are spouses or significant others who have stood by them in both good and tough times and have supported you working toward this day. Would you please stand? Graduates, some of you also have children who've had to share their mom or dad with books, studying, and homework assignments. I'd ask the children of our graduates to stand. Finally, we have many friends and other relatives of our graduates here. Please stand so we can thank you for being here with us today. Graduates, in a few moments you'll be crossing this stage. Two helpful reminders. As you celebrate this achievement, take time to thank those who have worked, helped, and supported you. Their sacrifice and love have helped create this moment for you. Second, a practical but useful reminder. We're going to take your picture as you receive your degree. Don't forget to pause as I shake your hand and smile. Every student who crosses our stage today has a story of personal commitment, effort, and sacrifice, allowing them to reach today's milestone of earning a Ferris degree. Seeing the success of these graduates, we feel hopeful for their future. Knowing our graduates today have the tenacity and the determination to grasp the opportunities they will be presented, as well as tackle the challenges they will face. In the days leading up to each commencement ceremony, I enjoy talking with our graduates and learning about some of the challenges they have worked to overcome. Every semester, I gain a deeper appreciation of the extraordinary students we have at Ferris and the power of the educational experience Ferris State University provides. All graduates face adversity along the way. Some of it's minor, but at times, some of it's of a much larger scope. Overcoming adversity makes reaching a significant goal that much more meaningful. I'm hopeful you can relate to the exceptional experience of one of our graduates today who persevered when I'm certain others would have taken an easier path. This student began her career at Ferris in 2009 after graduating from Eaton Rapids High School, majoring in criminal justice. In 2010, she changed her major to advertising, integrated marketing communications, and in 2011, she deepened her commitment to her new major by joining the registered student organization Ad Group. During the summer of 2011, when she was 19, student decided to stay in Big Rapids, take some classes, and get a job. But she began to get headaches that were excruciatingly painful. However, she was focused on her coursework and job and did her best to ignore the symptoms. By fall 2011, she was working, taking classes, and elected to the Ad Group Executive Board. At the same time, her headaches kept growing worse. Soon after Christmas break, she got a CAT scan, revealing that she had a brain cyst and was urged to get further testing. She put off the tests until spring break 2012 because she didn't want to miss school, worried she wouldn't be able to catch up. Tests revealed that she not only had a cyst, but also a rare tumor called a craniopharyngioma. She took a medical withdrawal from her classes and had brain surgery at Henry Ford Hospital in West Bloomfield. Due to complications from the surgery, she lost 75% of her eyesight. By the end of June, determined to get back to her normal life, she moved back to Big Rapids that fall and took 12 credits. In early October 2012, she started experiencing pain in her hips. By the end of the month, it had become very hard for her to walk. She finished the semester with honors. Over Christmas break, she had an MRI and was diagnosed with another rare disease called vascular necrosis. She was told the only way she'd be able to walk was to have 2 full hip replacements. She missed spring semester 2013 to have a first hip surgery in March and a second in May. Despite all this, she returned to school in the fall of 2013 and was elected vice president of Ad Group for the fall 2014. Last spring, she received the College of Business Student Excellence Awards. She also received the university's Excellence in Art Award and had a piece of artwork published in the university's Prism Journal. Through this all, she's never let her grade point average fall below 3.5, and she's remained on the dean's list. Even as she celebrates her graduation today, she continues facing challenges. Because her disease is also developed in her shoulder, she'll have to have both of those joints fully replaced as well. Beyond that, she hopes to work at a major advertising agency firm as a creative director or other position that will engage her tenacity and creativity. In graduating, she wants to thank her professors in advertising, integrated marketing, communication, for their understanding, support, and advocacy, especially Professors Paul Jackson, Susan Jones, and Tom Mayo. With her today are her family members who have been with her throughout the entire journey. Her father and mother, Mark and Lynn, grandfather Rod, aunts and uncles Janice and Mike, Doug and Roxanne, Jerry and Tim, and her cousins Zach and Michael. It's a pleasure to present to you Megan Mead. I would ask that she stand and be recognized. Megan. Let's also ask that Megan family stand. Would you please stand? Graduates, on behalf of our university, I wish you great success, meaning, and fulfillment. As you receive your diploma today, I encourage you to reflect upon the education you've received and the many, many people who have helped you arrive at this moment. As you set on the next step of this life and career, you will face times when things do not always go as you planned. During those times, think of this example of Megan Mead, who overcame not one, but 2 different health challenges that could have derailed her path to success, but which did not deter her from reaching her goal. With this determination, I know that you, like Megan, will accomplish great things. Congratulations and best wishes, class of 2014.
We now take pride in recognizing the graduates of the Ferris State University class of 2014. In the interest of time and maintaining the integrity of the ceremony, we ask that the families and friends of the graduates remain at their seats for the complete ceremony. The university has contracted with a professional photographer to take pictures of each graduate. Following the ceremony, we invite the family and friends to take photos in front of the stage. For safety purposes, the platform will be closed. The academic deans will assist President Eisler and Provost Blake to confer the appropriate degrees and certificates on the Ferris State University class of 2014.
Will the candidates for master's degrees in the College of Business please rise? Will their families also rise? Dean David M. Nickel will present the master's degree candidates.
On behalf of the College of Business, I am honored and privileged to present to you these candidates for the degree of Master of Business Administration and Master of Science in Information Security and Intelligence. They are hereby certified by the faculty for their degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon each of you the master's degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities therein. Congratulations, master's graduates, College of Business.
Family members may be seated. Graduates, please come forward as directed by the ushers. Mary Aline Bradshaw. Tammy Lynn Terex. Robert M. Schinbeckler. Matthew Mark Schulke. Narasama Madari. Ladies and gentlemen, the master's graduates of the College of Business.
Will the candidates for baccalaureate and associate degrees and certificates in the College of Business please rise? Will their families please rise? Dean Nickel will present the candidates.
On behalf of the College of Business, I am honored and privileged to present to you these candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science, Associate in Applied Science, and certificates. They are hereby certified by the faculty for their degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon each of you the bachelor and associate degrees and certificates as they apply to you individually with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities therein. Congratulations, graduates, College of Business.
Families may be seated. Graduates may be seated except for the first row. Please come forward as directed by the ushers. Caitlin Joyce Hirth. Kimberly Sean Phillips. John Michael McCarthy. Douglas Eugene Gaynor. Heather Marie Sexton. David Samuel Rhine. James Douglas Morgan. Chelsea Y. Kleinhans. Andrew Joseph Jared. Kellen Joe Voss. Thomas Somerville. Abigail A. Orr. Kayla Grace Rakonen. David Thomas Dahlheimer. Chelsea Elizabeth Berger. Nicholas Covey. Michael Walder Glowacki. Dylan Matthew Miles. Samantha M. Pierce. Megan H. Monks. Sarah Ann Rhoda. Alexa Noel Zenskus. Scott Raymond Supas. Eric B. Guppy. Elisa J. DeRue. Lucas F. Thompson. Jessica N. Berger. Lauren R. Benier. Deanna Marie Whitty. Destiny S. Todd. Erin Nicole Tanner. Joel Christopher Phillips. Ryan McKinley Lewis. Erin Michelle Goglin. Sydney Nicole Godbehair. Cassandra Ann Irene McGee. Laura E. Walton. Angela Renee Vanderwall. Stacy P. Simon. Patrick Michael Ruffing. Matthew William Barnes. Tony Contreras. Daniel John Egger. David Lawrence Hodge. Alexandra Marie Lanier. Kayla Dawn Rosinski. Zachary Mark Morey. Haley Ann Patterson. Jessica Jewel Avery. Megan Elizabeth Mead. Alec William Renkema. Amanda M. Davidson. Chase B. Haberman. Selena Elizabeth Noel Brown. Gerald Lee Spray. Matthew Christopher Barrett. Eric Bernard Trandall. Mark Jonathan Strickwerda. James Daniel Butterworth. Kristen Denise Owinski. Jacob E. Gould. Julia Marie Fusick. Troy Leslie Rendau. Jacob Paul Ledger. William Huntington. David DeSoto Cook. Ron Rue. Benjamin Joseph Poppy. Patrick Reed Bloom. Alexander Michael Walsh. Joshua Arthur Stoddard. Jonathan David Yeager. Jacob Charles Prawl. Jeffrey Allen Dean. Trevor Scott Bacon. Tyler Matthew Hanen. Christopher R. Walkowski. Robert Andrew Van Auken. Dalton James Miller. Elizabeth J. Hager. Ryan James Fitch. Tyler Warren Pribilla. Rebecca Ann Bernard. Daniel John Sears. Brianna Jean Wooster. Justin Allen Bohr. Jacob Daniel Sakinen. Aaron Caverly. Michael John Cohote. Michael Merritt Rollins. Eric Lawrence Conroy. Marcus John Aguilar. Aaron Richard Kelm. Jordan Scott Caverly. Tyler John Mumby. Anthony Vassallo. Tony Garrett White III. Christopher Joseph Wack. Jared Luke Cooper. Adam Christopher Powers. Donald Arthur Devanchier. Mark David Lanala. Costa Armani Ramirez. Jordan Michael Wenger. Andrew Daniel Forrest. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates of the College of Business.
Will the candidates for the master's degrees in the College of Health Professions please rise? Will their families please rise? Dean Matthew O. Adeyanju will present the master's degree candidates.
On behalf of the College of Health Professions, I'm honored and privileged to present to you these candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Nursing. They are hereby certified by the faculty for their degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the Master of Science in Nursing, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities therein. Congratulations, master's graduates, College of Health Professions.
Family members may be seated. Graduates, please come forward as directed by the ushers. Joseph E. Johnson, Jr. Lisa Ann Morrell. Jody Lynn French Soroka, excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, the master's graduates of the College of Health Professions.
Will the candidates for baccalaureate and associate's degrees and certificates in the College of Health Professions please rise? Will their families please rise? Dean Ade Adju will present the candidates.
On behalf of the College of Ed Professions, I'm honored and privileged to present to you these candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Associate in Applied Sciences. They are hereby certified by the faculty for their degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon each of you the bachelor and associate degrees as they apply to you individually, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities therein. Congratulations, graduates, College of Health Professions.
Families may be seated. Graduates may be seated except for the first row. Please come forward as directed by the ushers. Danielle Nicole Bueller. Marcia Jean Thomas. Christina Lynn Newman. Cord Roberto Trevino. Richard Anthony Tata. Amy Renee Mort. Alexis A. Lancor. Anne Tracy Perleski. Laura Schmel. Irene Monroe. Ashley Marie Dawn Swanson. Mackenzie Lynn Rohrig. Andrea Nicole Forsberg. Dominique Cherise White. Mercedes E. Gonzalez. Taryn Lee Bates. Brittany Nicole Jones. Erin Michelle McManus. Nicole Cooley. Amanda Jo Helmer. Whitney Ashton Ayers. Jason Brandon Konk. Tracy Lynn Vanderputten. Joshua Allen Gesselman. Sandra Ann Bowell. Patricia Joanne Beamer. Heather N. Slater. Julie Now Wynn. Victoria Ruth Spencer. David Allen Savage. Caitlin M. Baldwin. Latricia Candace Jenkins. Ashley Nicole Earl. Krista Renee Folkert. Taylor Elizabeth Reed. Rose Mary Scoff. Angela Marie Woolley. Brittany Renee Campbell. Caitlin Chelsea Quirk. Alexis Marie Dean. Andrea Rianne Hanford. Morgan Elizabeth Kelly. Chloe Lucille McCullum. Marina Lee Habel. Lisa Marie Butler. Megan Ann Uhouse Pratt. Melissa Osterbahn. Casey Lynn Cleary. Alicia Marie Cinco. Shanda Sue Brooks. Heather Nicole Hewlin. Jordan Lynn Lentz. Kelly Jo Coop. Rebecca Joanne McMurphy. Elise Kathleen Sinclair. Kimberly Lou Gaffney. Rebecca Lee Kavanaugh. Heather Lee Cole. Shelby Sherry Putnam. Jacqueline Elise Mulder. Roxanne Marie Rickert. Stephanie M. Ford. Caitlin Rose Kuhn. Jenna Sue Winters. Jennifer Lee Minear. Joseph D. Batchelder. Corinne Kristen Simon. Samantha Jo Fries. Sarah Jean Staffen. Matthew Aaron Vivian. Jordan Yvonne Millar. Abigail Ruth Fish. Molly Joyce Morrissey. Katie Danielle Vandervelde. Jessica Lynn DeRider. Lenore Ann Maxwell. Joshua Joseph Gibson. Catherine Rose Kaufman. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates of the College of Health Professions.
Will all our graduates please stand? Graduates? There's a long-standing tradition at commencement ceremonies in which the graduates move their tassels from the right side to the left side of their caps as a symbol of your accomplishment. I invite all graduates of the class of 2014 to flip their tassels at this time. Congratulations and best wishes. Please be seated.
Jeremy Mishler, Director of Alumni Relations, will bring you greetings from the Ferris State Alumni Association.
It is now my great privilege to salute all of you for the first time as alumni of Ferris State University. From this day, you will face many new possibilities, probabilities, and challenges. We will now be depending on you to do your part to strengthen the economies of our world and to build our communities. And it is now, more than ever, that we'll be counting on you to advocate to your family, neighbors, and colleagues the continuing opportunity of Ferris State. We are looking forward to your return to campus as our advisors, to be our guest speakers, and to share with us your successes so that your stories will inspire and support future generations that have the ability to fulfill their dreams here and to one day stand at your side. Celebrate this great day. We look forward to hearing from you soon. And remember, you are and always will be a Bulldog.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the singing of Ferris Fidelity. You may join Rachel Schumann in singing our alma mater. The words are located in your program.
As constant as the northern star, our faith we pledge to thee. Our word, our bond, our oath, our trust to you, fidelity. From the promise of the crimson dawn to sunset's mellow gold, thy spirit shall prevail. We pledge allegiance as of old. Ferris State, all hail!
Please remain standing for the formal closing of the commencement ceremony. Thank you so much for sharing this special day with us.